What do you mean?
I don't,
You don't
because
like the conversation?
I wonder about the motives. I'm wondering if they really want to do this to right the wrongs, or are they just trying to do this so that people can stop complaining about it?
Well, it might be both, and not everyone has pure interest at heart. There are probably some folk that are like, this will give me some political points if I talk about this, and I think we all have to accept that. Right. But certainly, I don't think there's anyone that can deny this was a horrible period in our history.
Absolutely.
But the problem is that it's easy for you when you don't have a frame of reference to say, well, I think that's ridiculous, reparations. But you when you don't understand the stain and the pain of bondage, it's easy to sort of be callous and have, callous in your mind and in your heart. And so I think that, we have to keep the conversation there, number one, so that we never go back to a period of time when people are just so taken for granted that, they become third-class citizens. And so, it's going to be interesting to see how that comes to pass. But I can tell you, it's not going to come without a lot of fighting, and I'm not even just talking about internally, but I can see that 30% that they always talk about, really jumping up and down about that particular issue. But it's certainly, we need to look at how the inequities that we see now have been the result of decades of inequalities, right, that have put communities at peril. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Slavery happened. Yep. Jim Crow happened. Redlining happened. And so, and because of these things, and that's just three things out of many, it's still a challenge to try to get your family to a place where, it's like, okay, now we actually own some property. We've got 3 generations of college graduates, those types of things that allow a family to start a legacy. I mean, don't get me wrong. We have a proud legacy, even if it was, some of it was in bondage, because, to survive that kind of stuff and still have generations who have been able to achieve and do things is amazing. But, we definitely need to talk about it. And I think if we continue to dialogue, that's the beginning of at least getting to a point where maybe one day we can even be tolerant of each other. And we're not looking at things like they're good people on both sides of the issue and all that kind of craziness. So, the doors of the church are now open.
Yeah, then they're want to figure that kind of stuff out. There.
Absolutely.
So, I know we have reached our time, and don't want to cut into your closing there, Thin Bad, but I think this has been a great conversation, guys, and I really enjoyed it, and we certainly thank our comments that we received on the chat line and also from Facebook. And it's just always good sometimes not to have a topic, just to kind of talk
Free
about
flow.
things that are going on. So I really appreciate that conversation, you guys.
Facts. Well, this has been a great discussion. So, Thin Bad, I'm going to swing it over to you. This is your area of expertise to close this out. Where did Thin Bad go?
And hopefully...
Oh, there he is.
Can you all hear? Hoping my technical difficulties.
We got you, sir.
Now we hear you.
I don't know, am I getting cut up? Because I'm to get chopped up. So let me be up there.
Are you using that pay-as-you-go thing?
Oh, Lord.
Is that the pay-as-you-go thing?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, maybe that's why they call it cricket, because it's just I'm trying to talk, but I don't know. But it's such a delay, But that's we've touched on quite a few subjects, and it's been good. This whole thing, we have to revisit this whole thing of reparations and the idea. There's times like when I miss Randall Robinson, a whole lot of work around that kind of thing. This Trans-Africa and he got so pissed off he left the left the country for a while. But he's got some books that are out there that if people want to go read up on it and then have a better understanding of what's going on. One of them in particular that was helpful to me was the debt what America owes blacks, what America blacks. But he's got another one called The Reckoning that kind of goes on the next phase. But that'll be an interesting topic. It'll be an interesting topic to explore at some point down the road. But folks, I don't know what it is you're thinking about or where your politics lie, but I'll tell you now, there's a lot in politicians that are saying some craziness and keeping us all at each other's throat. But let's move up a little high and use our brains and start thinking. Know what needs to be done. We certainly know, we may not have all the answers, but we know that this cat is not the answer. We know that we've just come through something that was, in the administration prior to his, that was full of hope and ideas and thoughts, and at least people were talking. You didn't agree. You could agree to disagree. But the conversations kept happening, and I think that's what's important now. That's what we try to do here at Straight No Chaser, giving you those issues and getting everybody under the same tent and being able to hear from all folks. So we hope that you have a good week. We are going to sit around and listen and find out what's going on with the world. Yes. And then when we come back to you next week, we'll have some other news for you. I am sure of it. So,
absolutely.
Easy, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you all for being here with me and helping me out. And Beezy, I'm hoping you took your medicine so you can sit down and not launch clean out of the chair.
Man.
But we'll get it together. She is ready. We got to turn you loose next time. But folks, we just want to thank you for letting us give it to you straight.
No chaser.
No chaser.
You've been listening to Straight No Chaser. So join us next week for more hot topics. And also, you can always catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, iHeartRadio.